Alright, here we go.
Alright, thank you, fellow Halo runners. Alright, countdown now. This isn't where we start, it's where, like, racing timing would start, but if I want to, like, actually figure out how well I'm doing, I'll let you know when it starts. Hi, Nacho. No. Sorry, I should have counted that down, but I don't really pay attention to where the loading screen ends. So, Halo Reach, easy. First level starts out with probably the largest skip in the game. Like, it breaks the game on the largest scale. Like, it's the most clear that something is going wrong, as opposed to what the developers wanted when you do this. Thank you, Fingerclick. I want to learn Crackdown someday. The Halo dude's always dead, or playing some MMO. So you've got to go through that Falcon ride every time you start the game. And then there's about 3 minutes of walking, and then some driving, and then you've got to try. So what's coming up is Falcon Skip, which is the largest skip in the game, and that involves stealing a Falcon that's supposed to belong to another member of Noble Team by deloading the AI inside. Because if you don't do that part, you can shoot a plasma pistol EMP at it, and it will just explode on the Falcon, and one of Noble Team will be like, "Ah, you're so mean, stop shooting me," except I'll say it in Japanese in this case. I am running on Japanese for no reason. I don't even have, like, the Halo 2 excuse for it saves, like, 1 second. It saves 0 seconds in Halo Reach. I just do it because it's cool. I've had this copy for, like, a year or something. It's about the same price as the regular game, so if you're looking to pick this game up, make sure to buy the Japanese version if you don't have one already. So, we're entering a lead zone here where the Falcon's gonna spawn, and then at the end of this walking further down, we're gonna have to turn around and make sure we cross the lead zone with the Falcon in a certain place. So what happens is the text is Korean. They're speaking Japanese in the game. You can set the text to whatever you want from your Xbox's settings. So when you deload the area, you have to make it so that the area that gets deloaded is where the Falcon currently is, which has to be a certain distance away. And the cool part is the Falcon sits there flying back and forth between a few points that are mostly in that area, so it's super consistent, and a lot of times you can just keep running, but I would never do that in a marathon run. So now it's over there, now it's here, and you can see that there's no waypoint on it anymore. That means that June is supposed to be in there. I don't know if he's actually, like, visible through the cockpit window. But right now there's just a small assault rifle in there as the pilot, and you might see it in a second when I try to hijack it. Wait, did I do something dumb? No, I didn't. Okay. Cool. Okay, so sometimes the Falcon is really tough to, like, flip over, but in this case it worked out perfectly. This is what you'd want in a run. So there are a lot of resets on WEC sometimes just to try to get the right flip. Yeah, you're directly quoting me there, Licious. There's a checkpoint when it says, or sorry, there's an exclamation point when it says there's a checkpoint in the text right above the radar, like right there. If it were a load zone, there wouldn't be an exclamation point, so it's, like, easier to read than the other Asian languages that I don't know how to read. Because I just look for the exclamation point. Not that checkpoints are really something you've got to always be on the watch for on easy. There's like 2 or 3 places in the game where I have to make sure I, like, don't skip over a checkpoint. Halo is pretty consistent over all the different games with um, how the game awards you with checkpoints, pretty much. It's either based on a certain time since the previous one in the same area. Yeah, Nacho, God flips become kind of a misnomer over the year, parenthesis, as it's gotten more consistent by figuring out the factors, but we still call it that. We'll never stop. So the game will try to award you a checkpoint, but it will, if you're like shooting a gun, meleeing, jumping in the air, stuff like that, it won't do it. Because it assumes that you're being shot at and will somehow get soft locked by being too close to too many people trying to shoot at you, stuff like that. So there are techniques to delay checkpoints by like meleeing, stuff like that. So I've got to pay attention to not doing that on accident a couple times. And that's just for backup strats. If I get everything first try, who cares what checkpoints? So this fight is mostly on a timer, which is why I don't have to kill people quickly. It's pretty relaxing. You can just kill them at your own pace with any gun you want. Halo 5 has a different checkpoint algorithm. Like, from watching the tiny bit that I have, I thought that it was the same. How have you witnessed that it's different? Oh yeah, I didn't go over that. This is the end of the level. I didn't really outline the rest of Falcon Skip. By getting the Falcon, there's a huge lack of invisible barriers in this level, which are super common in this game. And there's only one that's permitting you from just flying straight to the end of the level, which is here. Normally you get into a Falcon, like I was at the beginning of the game after doing a super long set of firefights. This skip saves like minutes. It's a really long, awful level. This is probably the best level to have a super content-destroying skip. So this game has elastic barriers, which aren't just like walls that they put on the map. It's like they behave differently. When you come into contact with them, they will try to they'll try to slow you down. They won't you won't crash into them. It's impossible to like splatter yourself on an elastic barrier. So what you do is we go over and stay near the spirit, which makes it fly in that pattern. If you don't get close enough to it, or if you go in the wrong place, it just won't go in the right direction. I haven't had it happen in a while, so I forget what causes it. And then just fitting yourself between the spirits so that your Falcon has nowhere to go except in the direction of the barrier. So you'll skip through. And you saw me die there, and I probably would have died if this weren't, I don't know about this, but this Falcon that I was in is supposed to be occupied by Noble Team, right? So you're never supposed to... It's never supposed to die. Like, you can shoot a Noble Team all you want, they'll never die. So all the vehicles that are supposed to be exclusive to them are invincible. And there is one way to kill yourself inside that Falcon, which is if you boost straight, like, in the opposite direction and have a head-on collision with the spirit, it can splatter kill you. I don't know. I don't know why that isn't covered in the list of things that you're safe from inside that Falcon. But yeah, I don't remember if I lost all my health or I had 1 bar left, but either way, the game will not kill you. It'll even sound like, I think they're called kill effects in this game. It'll be like the birthday party noise when you die or something. I have that, and sometimes that sound goes off. I don't remember if it did. But yeah, that's cool. This fight is very random, and the elite's AI varies a lot, whether they'll actually be in the range of this airstrike. This is bad. I tried to delay it a little bit to make sure that... Okay. So now we're going to EMP a scripted Warthog and hijack it. Okay, usually you can get there in 2 EMPs, but I played it safe because I maybe could have gotten there before that elite hijacked it, but it would have been kind of risky. And if you get in too late, the Warthog can just randomly blow up as you're driving away, which has to do with this Warthog is supposed to go up to the Wraiths and then get, quote, killed by the Wraiths. But, I don't know. It's really, really finicky. If you're like in that area for too long with the Warthog, it'll just die because it's not supposed to actually get killed by a Wraith's mortar. It's supposed to just blow up when it gets kind of close and is kind of obscured by how far away you are. I don't know. It's a really weird skip. We just know that if we do it that specific way and are only in the Warthog for that like segment, then we'll be fine. And if you've done it enough, you'll kind of develop a sense of when it's going to kill you and when it's not. There are 3 buttons you have to hit between getting a Warthog and returning a sword base. All 3 of them are hit through a wall somehow. The first one I just jumped up through a button that was supposed to be on a rooftop. This one has a cool grenade jump with it. There used to be an old strat that I really liked where you jumped off a fence post and you had this like super tight angle to jump and hold X with, but that nade jump is faster. I've done it as a backup strat a little bit lately, like I'll miss a nade jump and just peel over to jump on top of the fence and then get it first try and lose like 8 seconds or something, but it's not too bad. Oh my gosh, I suck at this lately. Those barriers will not move. Unlike the same exact barriers in the same place you'll see on package. And by jumping over that, by kind of ramping up on that structure, you can get over them. Except I really suck at it lately. Like, I haven't gotten it in a while. These hunters have really cool AI. I like it a lot. They're really, really consistent. That was just me being dumb. Don't mind that. Hey noobs. So there are a lot of different ways up the atrium. There's a slightly faster way you can do with a concussion rifle, which would involve... oh crap. Of course. Which would involve airstriking the first button I go to, because there is... oh my goodness, I don't know how to do this anymore. Sorry. Okay, there's like a lot of ways to do it. That's the one that we use for full game. It's pretty much, I think it's the fastest you can do on foot without a concussion rifle. This fight includes a lot of RNG. The Banshees, if they fly below like where my reticle is, they can just die because there's a kill barrier down there. So sometimes almost all of them will die. And that's how a certain Halo 4 runner got the world record for this level, by having like a 28 elevator, and then just getting extremely lucky in this fight. It was a spectacle. Okay, this should work. I kind of fired it late. Wow, thank you. Game. Yeah, okay, that's fine. While it might seem that I shouldn't be firing at these Banshees that Emil is already firing at, we learned quickly that his rockets do half the damage of the rest of mine for some reason, so he's kind of useless. Oh, you can usually hit him off that. Yeah, I don't know, I develop really bad habits over that. Like I've killed like 3 runs in a row on that segment of walking before. Nightfall is the worst level in the entire game, except everyone likes it for some reason, but it doesn't like me. There's 2 major nade jumps you need to do to get kind of close to a good time. But yeah, this level has had a lot of competition for speedrunning for a really long time. Okay, so that went smoothly, I guess. I really hate those nade jumps. I've had a long battle with becoming consistent at them. You can probably get sniped by him, but if you are speed gaming at high proficiency, he'll never catch up to you. Well, that's not true. He'll spawn in front of you a lot. I guess that was kind of a positive Goose boost. These guys can hit you really far, like that grunt. And they can save you like up to 10 seconds or something insane. But they were in weird positions there. I didn't try to like taunt them and get them to hit me. Oh really? Is that everyone's logic for speedrunning Nightfall? I guess I didn't join that crowd. There's another nade jump you can do here, but that jump is much cooler. Slightly slower. So I was gonna be co-commentating with Halo Dude. I had to wake up at 6 AM for this, which worked out well because like I went and drove down to the Bay Area, and when I got back it was like 6 PM, but it felt like 9. So I got to go to bed super early, and I got probably 8 hours of sleep. That's pretty cool. But I had to wake up at 6, and he's in Central Time, and he just had to wake up at like 8:30. He just had to be there and join a Discord chat, but he decided to stay up till 3 AM, so it's just gonna be me unless he wakes up during like POA or something. This is the skip. Okay, well, running past that fight, which didn't look like a skip, was a skip because otherwise you'd spend like 3 minutes or something doing a several wave fight where enemies come out of phantoms and you've got to be running around a lot. This fight is also really long because like I don't know how speed strats would develop around it, but no, this is not good. Okay, yeah, by clipping through that gate, which has a small window of areas you can clip through, you've got to like go right through the part where the doors meet, because there's a small gap there. Which, it would be so much easier if it were like Halo 4 and you could just clip through anywhere, which is the case with the shield on Reclaimer, if I recall. Oh yeah, you're a talking guy now, Nacho. I'm in the Quit Kings Discord chat. You can jump in right now. I'm not kidding. Like, I'm in there right now. So if you want to come in and bestow your iPhone mic's grace upon us, that would be cool. I somehow lost 10 seconds on my splits there, don't ask me. I hate running, like, this level sucks so much in full game because it's supposed to vary, like, by far less than 5 seconds, but I lose, like, ridiculous amounts of time on it. I don't know why I'm doing that so much, I'm sorry. I made some Powerade, but it's like, I won't be able to drink it till I get in the Falcon on this level. The trigger for that Falcon to spawn is 2 grunts and 2 turrets. And I grabbed that Elite's concussion rifle for a super cool trick later. It kinda sucks that I got the white Elite, because they have different AI than purple and orange Elites, and he's far less likely to spawn on easy. But he behaved. All he has to do is melee me, and he's gone. There's a really cool IL strat you can do on the right if you jump on that rock there. With the ghosts, like, plant a nade there, get in the ghost, boost up to it, and you can jump up that hill. But it's so hard and so inconsistent. You can watch a cool IL run on HTTP:// oh no, oh no. On http://haloruns.com. It looks really cool when you do it perfectly and you just boost straight into the bridge skip right there. That skip saves, less than 5 seconds if you don't do the previous skip, because the pelican that drops a bridge on there is triggered by killing the AA gun. So it's something I've started doing in full game, or I did it a long time ago. I've been doing it in full game for a very long time, and sometimes it just doesn't work like that. It has to do with your angle, or getting a weird bounce on something. I suck. I guess we'll just do the cool EXR skip. Okay, cool. So this, if you look at this like in theater mode from a bird's eye view, it looks really, really like circuitous. It takes way longer to run through it than it looks like from at first glance, but that's the fastest way through it for sure. Certain people have experimented with launching up there with like with a ghost. They plant it upside down by getting out of it in a cool way. And okay, God, I could have done a dumb thing there. You can die here a lot. I'm gonna try to not do that. These hunters take a long time to kill, so I'm gonna keep them inside this A again, and then it's gonna explode and they're all gonna die quick deaths. And they're all gonna go flying, hopefully, if this guy doesn't walk any further forward. Okay, they didn't go flying forward, but we still got him. This run is still very hype. I don't know why I did that, now I run the risk of dying. Okay, that explosion will either do 0 damage to you, or like almost kill you, or kill you several times over. It's strange, I don't know. Is that it? There's one more guy. And he's dead. No, he's not. Oh no, what the? I saw his dead body. That sucks, okay. This falcon tries to shoot at you for no reason. I've had a lot of runs killed by the falcon shooting me. Sorry, hipfire. I'll try to be cool and play in English like you one day. It is definitely faster. Which, that gives me... I feel no emotion doing this due to how many times Marines have shot me on this level. So this is mostly an auto-scroller except for a single right that you have to blow up. So I guess this is kind of enough time for like a bathroom break or drinking Powerade, one of the two. Probably not both. If you kill it early enough, it deloads sometimes. No. That's some awful Powerade. Why hasn't the powder dissolved? How am I supposed to drink like 4 more gallons of this? We're going up there. That fight's gotten a lot more clean for me in the last few weeks. Halo Roach. No one said Halo Reich yet, which I'm kind of surprised by. There's a cool Bob that can spawn here. If he spawns, I'll be super angry and kill him. Okay, he didn't spawn. Bobs are elites that spawn. At least one of them spawns in every level. That's not true. Yeah, it is. There are several different places the Bob can spawn, so they're known as like different Bobs. Like there's the Bob in this place, while it's still just the same elite spawning in a different place. There are like 5 of them on top of the sphere, if I recall, and one of them is super. Oh god, I did a dumb thing. Okay. At least I got the fuel rod grunt. Oh, is that yeah, the Bob can spawn there, and another one can spawn like behind your truck. But if you move forward quick enough, you should be able to avoid him just fine. This is the really cool level that makes everyone hate this game. When Bungie was premiering this game at E3, they were like, hey, let's show off these really cool cutscenes and gameplay on Long Night of Solace. And they're like, oh crap, but what if we skip the cutscenes, dude? What are we gonna do about that? And they're like, I don't know, I don't have a solution to this problem. So they made it so you can't skip the cutscenes. And they premiered it at E3, and it went swimmingly, and then they released the game without fixing it. And they never patched it. I've come to accept that they're a nice way to go to the bathroom or get some food or eat some food. We're doing something called beach skip right here, where there's a whole wave of enemies that's supposed to come out of that spirit up there, but if we get up here and take out the elite that comes in a drop pod early enough, we should be able to skip that whole fight. Hooray, it worked. You just gotta like... the elite is on an area trigger, and the spirit is on a time trigger that I forget when it starts, but I don't know. So by killing him as the only enemy that I don't know, it's complicated. I think during that fight you can leave like 2 or 1 enemy alive, and the door will still open unless one of those enemies is that elite, in which case you'll have to kill him no matter what. So by killing him before everyone else has spawned, you kind of confuse the game into thinking that everyone's dead, and so the door opens. This is the part of the game outside of the cutscenes that everyone hates this game for, on top of hating the cutscenes. There are several waves of a space fight where you're driving in one of these long swords. When you're landing the game and flying through it casually, it just sucks because you're wandering around aimlessly with a small FOV. Comparatively, I call it small. Looking for enemies to appear on your screen. It doesn't become actually engaging and competitive until you really know what's going on, and you've done it a lot of times, and you know where every enemy is going to be, and it's coming down to like seconds. So for me, this is like actually an exciting part of the run. But yeah, it sucks. It didn't have to suck. Space fights don't have to suck like this, but they did not do a good job. When people say like an FOV number, what is that unit corresponding to? I don't know like how FOV units are measured. You have to do a tutorial here. 'Degrees? Oh, okay. Oh, why didn't I think of that? Of course, okay. Oh, I'd like to see like a 300 FOV, that would be cool. In a game where you play as a jumping spider. So the Banshees are going to spawn right about here, so it's all about timing, being in the right place when they spawn. Oh no, modifies matrix. Please don't go into the math. Scaring me with those words. This fight is frustrating because it's supposed to be really straightforward, but sometimes these guys just will do a cool maneuver and dodge the bullets that come at, or the missiles that come at it. So that's why I keep shooting at them until the missiles go off. Because it's a marathon run and I don't want to lose stupid time, I'd rather just be kind of slow. Do people actually measure FOVs in radians? This wave sucks because you have to kill a lot of Banshees and then a sort of undetermined amount of Seraphs. We don't have a great understanding of the trigger for the race Phantoms that will come up in a sec. So it's usually just pretty bad. Where did he go? Okay, that was not bad actually. If you have to only kill 2 Wraiths, that's pretty good. I killed them slowly, but it was good RNG. Hey, Reed. I thought I got this one. Alright. Now, there's a bunch of enemies that have spawned and they all have to leave the area, so you can sometimes save a few cool seconds by shooting the last few that would leave. Except killing a Seraph takes forever, so you can't do anything about that. I wish there was some kind of strategy to it. Wow, that wasn't bad. I only lost 6 seconds on that split. Dude, nice Shadows. I really wanted, like, I ran for the, I don't want to shit on a marathon, but I commentated several runs in a row for SRC in, like, January or something. And I really wanted to watch the runs, but I don't know if they ever uploaded them. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. That line just then that George said was supposed to be in Turkish, but I think he just says it in Japanese. That's another thing that's cool about Japanese. The person talking right now is Dot. It's like an AI, and she has this annoying British accent that's overemphasized in the English version, but she kind of calms down in this game's language. Yeah, throughout like seeing the planning and the stream going down, I have seen this marathon being pretty much higher quality than any online marathon I've seen, of which I've been to a lot. This is the first one I've actually run in because I always just encourage my friends or like someone else to submit this game, or I just don't feel like it would be an entertaining run or something, but now I'm doing it and it's tons of fun. But the other marathons are always like it's always like you're expecting it to go terribly wrong at any minute, but this one's got super good control. I'll take your word for it, Reed. I haven't seen them in a long time, aside from these ones. That was super fast. Okay, I kind of got lucky with the lock-on mechanics, and it went really faster than it was supposed to. This fight is pretty dependent on friendly AI. I could have done a stunt there, but I'd always die because your ship moves a lot and things that are seemingly... Okay, that's super cool. What a cool game. Okay, I'll do it this time. There. Wow, he just went the other way. Okay, that didn't even help. That's really rare for a Seraph to actually hit you. Like, they'll go near you a lot, but actually hitting you is super, super rare. If you, like, maintain a straight path. That's good that I had a second checkpoint, though. You can scratch that super, super rare comment. Good thing I had that third checkpoint, am I right? Okay, no, stop it. Oh my gosh. Okay. I think I'm getting pretty good RNG here in terms of how many Seraphs are getting killed by friendly AI. Because you've got the frigate there, which if it puts its mind to it, it can just kill one in like 5 seconds with just its turret. But it's usually just a problem of actually aiming at one. I don't know why these Seraphs are being so aggressive. I haven't seen them like charge at me this much in a long time. See, like, Savannah just sucks sometimes. Okay, that was really rocky, but at least it was hilarious. You'd be surprised to hear how much the strats for that part evolved over time. For such a long time we tried to like dive down and sword the elite, which we had problems with for some reason. And then there was a lot of debate over like what guns to take to this area. But yeah, this is what we've... Probably can't really go faster than this in terms of what guns we bring to this area, because it carries over as long as you don't die on co-op, which can be a thing. Your guns will be carried over from when you got into the longsword, which is totally unheard of in this game. Like, there are so many logical points in the story where your weapons should be carried over but aren't. But then over like 2 cutscenes and like no 3 cutscenes, holy crap! And what am I doing? I thought there was another one alive. Okay. Okay, he's gone. But there is. Okay, I guess someone killed him. So then, this is something that's also come up recently. We take the plasma pistol and the DMR up to this door, and then it's better to take the plasma pistol through here, but when we re-enter the room, it's much better to have a DMR. So we leave this here for when we come back to this room. Yeah, there's only a few rooms that actually allow you to see the space background outside of here, which I think is much cooler, like, when you're in FPS mode. Like, seeing it from an airplane is, like, you take it more for granted. Oh, come on, you bully. This elite can be killed by 2 sword swipes, or 1 shot from the plasma pistol and 1 sword swipe. What a cool ship. I don't know what that is. Is that the super carrier? So now we're heading back to the firefight map that we cleared out earlier, and I'm doing the Wii thing that Hipfire did. I'm sorry. I'm not a Let's Player. I promise. But clearing that out is pretty quick, and then there will be several spawns in all the doors that are in this room, and you just have to know which one comes next. And it's really fun to learn, because there's like a whole lot of... Doing it for like the first time perfectly feels awesome. My goodness. What? Oh wow, that's really dumb. Yeah, those grunts, only like, what am I doing? Only 1 or 2 of those grunts actually counted toward the trigger to make this door open. Because there's the grunts that were here when you spawned after the cutscene, right? And then there were the ones that only spawned once I got back. And only the ones that have just spawned as I got back are the ones that count toward the trigger. So it's frustrating. Like, usually you've got a pretty good idea, because you know where the ones who only spawned when I returned here stand. But they happen to group up there. That's, like, really awkward. Alright. Super easy. Now we just gotta wait for him to come back so we can make a lot of blue stuff. Exodus. It's a very consistent level. I end up with a lot of splits where I lose or gain like less than 2 seconds. Like, it's something I expect each run, which is kind of unique to the other levels, including Nightfall. Which is just, I guess, it's not easy. It's tough to get a good time, but once you know what to do, there's not a whole lot of RNG that can affect you. It's very much based on really consistent triggers. Okay. You can die in this section on easy if you get hit by grunts, nades a lot, but once you've made it here without low shields, you're fine. Even if a bunch of people hit you here. So sometimes there's like actually nothing you can do about it, and it's really frustrating, but as long as you play it safe, you should make it like 14 out of 15 times, something like that. It's unfortunate that I didn't get any plasma nades. Usually you get at least 1 or 2 or 4 by now. Nice, I got 2 of them there. Oh, cool spawns. Okay, this will be easy. Yosh. Yosh, there we go. So there's a really cool strat here where you can snipe. There's going to be 2 phantoms that spawn. One of them is going to be right out here, and the other is going to be down there. And there's a sniper up here, and you stand by that post and shoot those brutes that are in that phantom before they jump out. But I've done it a few times and I've practiced it a bit, but I prefer this strat for full game. Because if you, like, it only results in minimal time loss from input error, whereas the other one can really screw you over. But yeah, it's really great because once you shoot the brutes out of the hunter, or out of the phantom, ideally, you can kill everyone from standing in that one spot. And you'd think that would be slower because you still got to run here and get in this elevator. But if you hit on the button to enter the elevator, which is already there before the elevator gets there, which you can do from the outside, you will teleport into the elevator when the game actually starts checking if you've hit the button already. So it's a really cool strat to watch. I don't know if I'll ever do it in full game. Oh, I forgot to make this gun disappear. I think I'm too late, yeah. So this part's kind of boring, but it's part of what makes the level consistent. Let's see, up here I'll have a fight where I have to jetpack up to the top of a landing pad and clear that out. I'm going to try to get to the front of it as early as I can because that ensures that the phantom that drops the final enemies will come as soon as possible. And then I should have sufficient time to kill everyone else before that. Then it's going to be another Falcon ride, which this time is truly an auto-scroller as far as we know. And after that we're going to have the coolest level in the game, New Alexandria, which poses a ton of RNG into getting a really good time, because I guess I can explain it now because this part doesn't have a whole lot to talk about. You can get killed by the chain reactions here, which is more of a common thing in Halo 1, but I'm fine here. It has 12 different missions that you can be assigned after you go to the first one, some of which are really fast, other ones are very slow. so slow that they'll cost you like 2 minutes or something. Yeah, there's not a whole lot that can kill you. There's a lot of imbalance in what things actually can kill you, such as hunters sometimes. Which is good. Like, if I'm gonna run easy, I'd rather it be like really, really easy where I don't have to worry about enemy fire for the most part. But like, your own plasma grenades do ridiculous amounts of damage in comparison to like enemies' plasma nades. So stuff like that's really frustrating. But that's why you'll never see me throw a plasma nade anywhere near me. Like, it'll only be to throw really far away if I do at all. I might not ever. I think I threw one when I threw one when I was coming back to the elevator. I don't know when else. I might have thrown one on tip of the spear. I don't remember. But yeah, they're super dangerous. So yeah, this one's pretty long. And then I'll come back and I'll have once I get out, there's going to be like a 1 minute segment of driving the Warthog and hitting buttons. And so New Alexandria is going to open with something called Banshee Skip, which, first of all, I have to make sure I keep at least one of the Marines that tries to get into my Falcon out of... just to keep them out so that they don't get in, and they'll be in the turret seats like I am right now in this Falcon. Quicker to kill the Marine in the Falcon. Yeah, to sit in this seat. The other seat that the game wants you to get into has tendency to keep you stuck inside when you're supposed to get out. And you can lose like up to a ridiculous 15 seconds of just sitting there waiting for the game to let you get out. Because at the beginning you might have seen the game, there's like a dialogue box that came up that said, hold X to get out of Falcon, as if that's going to be like a thing you have to worry about, right? There's not a single point in the rest of the game in all these Falcon rides where you actually have to hold X to get out. The game just kicks you out whether you want to or not. And this one, I have never seen, I've never had it keep me stuck inside, so this one is better. It's technically, I guess it would, if these two seats, this one and the one that you're supposed to get into, got out at the same exact time, the other would be faster. But the way it is, this one's definitely better for full game. So I have a grab hammer from one of the brutes, so I could use that to boost my movement a little bit here. $420.0 thanks. Why did I do that? That was like the only bad time to do that, where I would lunge at the enemies. I'm pretty smart. Cool hog fling. You probably saw more intense ones in Halo 1, I can assure you. It's possible to get really intense flings right there, which are not good in this case. Yeah, that was quick. That might have been sub 10, I'm not sure. So this part's gonna suck. I hope I can do Banshee Skip. I'm not gonna really talk about it. I'm gonna leave it for the viewer to decipher. Okay, cool. Both of them are out. Okay, cool. We got some spawns. That's delightful. I'm just gonna keep resetting till I get it. I've been pretty consistent with it lately, so... Isn't it more often to get it first time than not? That was not the correct thing. I don't know how I did that. Yeah, marathons. I'm probably better at this outside of a marathon. Oh well. What? That looks fine. I don't know what's going on. I'm confused. I'm right there, like on it, where I should be able to hijack it. Okay. I don't know. I kind of abandoned whatever muscle memory I had for this and just tried to be super meticulous about it. Alright, so first we gotta get rid of the wings, otherwise it won't fit through this door. Then call and back at Falcon, which despawns that wreckage, which is kind of a good indicator that I triggered it. And then we fly through the hospital in this Banshee, which fits very nicely in a lot of convenient places. And it's very frustrating learning this because you have no idea what you're doing, but once you have some like muscle memory for flying through, it's not so bad. Load this up, then we're supposed to walk all the way back, but that's like an awful idea. So we're just gonna hop back into Banshee and fly out. Just kidding, we're not gonna fly all the way back out. We're gonna fly over here, get a checkpoint, get out, and then just walk into this wall and melee it. Otherwise the trick will clearly not work. Oh, and we're back. Look at that. Look how much time we spent. Probably none, because it took me so long to hijack the Falcon. But yeah, I wanted to show that off more than anything. Oh crap, we got Banshees. That's not a great mission, and it's really far away, but it's not Buck. Oh, sorry, no, that's Hunters, never mind. I confuse Banshee and Hunters a lot of the time. This one's good, actually. This is one of the better ones that I never get. Like, it's supposed to be like 1/12 chance for each mission, but I do not experience even luck. It's not proportional. My distribution of missions cannot be represented by a normal polygon. Kaden 1437, if you have a copy of this game, feel free to boot up your Xbox and play it. I wish you well. Okay, we could have gotten that orange building that I was right next to, so I was kind of close to it, but this one is the other one that I had a 50% chance of getting, and it has longer dialogue, so I'm probably still going to get there on time, if I don't suck. That's part of the equation. I might have been a little late. Looks like we're good. Barely. This area has a lot of buggers that spawn. And I mean like a lot. If you tried to like, I think I did it once, I cleared this whole room out of buggers. It took me like 10 minutes of constant shooting. Partially because crap. I suck at this jump now. You're supposed to be from further away. There we go. I don't know why. Like, I don't know why they expected you to be any closer, or like in there for any longer than I was there. So now we pray for no buck again, and then we'll be clear. I'm gonna try to delay a checkpoint, but sometimes the game just gives it to you anyway. can look for phantoms spawning. It's hard to see against like the purple background here. There's a phantom that could be there. Here's one that could be here. I didn't check over, I bet. See, there's a checkpoint even though I was shooting. Who knows? I don't think I got over. I did not. Who knows? It's probably not Buck. I haven't seen Buck take this long in a while. Oh, it was! I looked for a falcon. Whatever. I looked for a phantom right here, but I didn't see it. This one's pretty bad just because it takes forever. It's pretty easy to kill off all the enemies though. Should be it. Okay. Now I have a 100% chance of getting this mission up here. Yeah, it's Ivory Tower. Except for some reason it sucked according to people who played the multiplayer of this game. Okay, so that was, I'd call it decent RNG. Between getting the Banshees, which is not always the case, and not getting Buck, that's always a big thing, and the first mission was really good. But of course there are some much faster missions that make it possible to save like a whole minute on this level, even on the world records, New Alexandria. But that's, getting the perfect array of missions is a 1 in like 250 chance. And on Legendary, it's similar when you're grinding ILs, but technically it's like a 600 chance because you have to get the hospital first, which doesn't happen every time on Legendary. So you can like start the mission and then wait for the game to load the hospital first, and you can just restart the mission over and over again. And it'll load hospital every time. But starting off, it's 1 in 600 chance of getting every mission. Oh, I missed getting this kill early. I must have missed a lot of shots approaching. That's fine. Alright. That's pretty good. No, I didn't split that. Yeah, that was awful. Because of missing Banshee skip a lot of times. So package has a lot going on at the beginning. Like, I mean that kind of literally. There's a lot of entities in the next area I'm going to head into. The game drops a lot of frames. You can die really easily if you're not careful. Oh, cool. Okay, never mind. It's dying pretty easily. I've got something that can help me not die. By getting a plasma pistol, you can EMP a revenant that you have to go walk up to and hijack. but not this one. It's piloted by an elite, we'll see it later. And there's a way to get a plasma pistol that I'd been doing, but it was like kind of risky to get the plasma pistol in the first place. Like I died several times getting it. So now I just do it the old-fashioned way, like a man. Except now when I happen to grab that grunt's plasma pistol. Oh, come on. Okay. Moving away from it early was dumb because once you kill that A again, once they're both dead, this level is on a timer. I just have to kill both of these shade turrets, this one here and this revenant up here, before that certain time runs out. I don't know what it is. I don't really care because in a lot of cases, most cases, I get it done way before and time nearly runs out. Oh shit, what am I doing? My goodness, okay. And then I can just calmly EMP this revenant. And we're good. Okay, my ghost is gone because I looked away for a sec, but it's fine, I can just use the revenant. It supposedly, well no, it does go faster than a ghost on a flat surface when it's boosting, but it's just kind of hard to move around. Yeah, that went fine. I know some people that prefer using the revenant here, but I like the ghost. That was really funny and dumb. I should have realized that I was missing some health though. That made it so that like if I got hit by a needle rifle shot, I would have maybe died with the nade jump. But it's fine, I did the backup strat. I think I just jumped too late or something with the first try. So this fight up here is the biggest firefight in the game. It has, the strats for this have evolved a whole lot over the last year and a half or so. Recently we've taken to blowing up turret or phantoms that show up so that we don't have to wait for them to leave. You'll see some of that later. It's always been a thing to hijack a Banshee up here. I hopefully won't need to use this grenade launcher to EMP it, but if the Banshees don't behave, I kind of have to. They behaved. Wonderful. So now I've got a little bit of time before the next couple of phantoms drop enemies. These grunts don't really matter. Just gotta kill them at some point. Alright. Oh, I might destroy the turret upon... Okay, we're fine. So now we're waiting for a phantom right here. There we go. That was dumb and bad. I'm kind of deciding how I should do that differently as of late, because I've always kind of sucked at it. And I kind of tried to do it in a way that worked a bit ago when I started out further away from the Phantom. But I got too close to make it work. Great. Okay. Looks like we will not have to deal with any further armor locking brutes. Oh wait, no. These are the most likely ones to armor lock. Never mind. It's something that you will go most runs without ever seeing in the entire game. Elites can do it too. But, oh my god. It just happens sometimes on this level. Okay, that's the end of that. We're gonna grab a DMR and reload our rockets down here. Oh wait, never mind. That was... I don't have to reload them yet. Yeah, there's even a line of dialogue, Epic Ninja, that says like, maybe we should grab a Banshee and fight those other Banshees. But if you go to hijack one, there's not an actual elite character model inside, which makes me wonder whether they actually want you to do it or not. Yeah, EMPing works anywhere, but it's super consistent to just jetpack up and get it. So we're gonna stay next to this Banshee and make sure it knows that it is our friend, because it can deload if we're not close to it enough. Like if we spend enough time not looking at it. So I'm gonna head up here, keep looking at my best friend. Okay. Oh crap, did I? Okay, no I didn't. So by shooting that grunt, I've made these elites, which were supposed to come out of that Phantom, spawn over here. So now I can just do this and they're all dead. Look at that. That's a really new development in this level that makes full game package go quite differently than it used to. Or Wave 2, I mean. It's not faster than the current IL strat, which relies on something called Phantom Deload in Wave 3, which I can explain in a second. Die. You also die. Come on. I might have gone too early. That would be my fault. Yeah, where did this guy come from? Yeah, I forgot about the other drop here. Getting EMP'd is another cool thing that you can go entire runs without seeing. Okay, now they're all dead. Excuse me? You were killed long ago. Alright, and that's the end of Wave 2. Yeah, they're all pretty recent as well, noobs. What am I looking for? This thing? Yeah. It was pretty much my fault that I got EMP'd though, I didn't kill them quick enough. So I'm gonna shoot 4 lasers even though I could be easily hitting it with rockets right now, because one, I've had rockets go clean through it before while it's still moving. And I don't know, I just find it more consistent that the second volley of rockets will kill it at this point, which it does. Look at all that cool debris, does that not seem familiar from Hipfire's Halo 3 run? It should. So Phantom deload is when the Phantom disappears pretty early on its flight path to exit the level. And we used to just hope that happened, and if it didn't, then it would just be like a 10 or 15 second slower package. So, oh, forgot to split. The IL route currently relies on that, though. So the IL route used to just be to destroy that Phantom, I think. I'm not sure. But Wave 2, now we have a method of destroying the Phantom. And then that will end Wave 2 much faster, because if you recall, there was just that, like, Elite and a few Jackals. Oh, that's bad. You can get a cool slide jump here, but I messed it up. An Elite and a few Jackals can come out of that last Phantom, and so killing it saves a whole lot of time. And then killing the Phantom here at the end of Wave 3 is pretty much the same time save as getting Phantom deload. So the current IL route, like, we would never do that in full game, but package is probably still open to change, and I'll bet something weird will happen again in the full game route. The bot does have a point. You can do that. There's an angle of the slide jump you can get so that you land right behind the Elite and you can assassinate him out of the air. Oh, you're talking about the achievement one. Okay. Yeah, that would be slow. Sorry. President Sleeper. I've heard that emote spoken out loud. I think someone said it during the Hitman Blood Money run, which was excellent. I thought he was just making some inside joke. I didn't know that was a real emote. That's pretty cool. Cool, I didn't go slow here. Sometimes your mongoose can flip over after that jump. You can kind of control it by how much, like by kind of taking something off the gas as you go over, but there's really no telling. That was me reading chat. Congrats on being rich off of Goldmine StatX. The game is going to be also handling a ton of entities once I let these guys in up here. So we'll see some super dank frame rates. And I'm gonna hold X and kill a grunt for this fuel rod here, and get more ammo from this guy for use in the fight at the end of the game. It's a cool jump you can do to get through this window. Normally you'd have to kill the hunters to get this door to open, which wouldn't take too long with fuel rods, but it's definitely better this way. I had to turn around and look at the door for a sec so that I would ensure that enemies loaded in this area, because not having them load, like sometimes you won't find out until you get here and that door doesn't open. Thanks for the support, Nacho. I think we both understand what part of this game is truly valuable. So here's a three-way fight that's coming up that's pretty simple, but ends in a skip that can kind of kill a run. It's very similar to the door skip, or beach skip we saw in LNOS at the beginning, whereas you're killing the one enemy that has to be killed in a wave fight, even if there's like a leniency of a couple enemies. Oh. Okay. I was pretty sure someone would survive that. So here's where it gets tricky. So hopefully that'll kill. No, it didn't. So I wanted to kill all the jackals and one of the chieftains with those rockets, but it did not. Okay. Everyone should be dead. Yeah. So now I gotta get down here and hit this chieftain that's gonna drop with the rocket. Alright, we got it. So that means the pelican's coming. That was supposed to be triggered by killing everyone except, I think, 2 enemies in this leniency. So everyone in this phantom and everyone in that phantom that came up here. Alright, then we're gonna hit the last trigger pretty much. You don't need to be ready on time, we've got like 2 more minutes or something. Blah. So once we get up here through these stairs, we have triggered this phantom, or this super carrier to come near us, and once it's close enough, we can just shoot it and then the game ends. But we got time to screw around before then. Alright, this guy is supposed to be like the most powerful elite in the world, but he was standing in the wrong place, so I ran by him. Ready on time. No. No. And that's it. Hooray.